If someone wanted to break into your house tonight, how hard would it actually be? Not a hypothetical, a real question. Sit with it for a second. Picture your front door, the lock you turn every night without thinking about it, the frame it sits in, what's on the step, what's visible from the street, how long it would actually take someone who knew what they were doing to be inside your home where your kids are sleeping. You've thought about this before. Not obsessively. Just that quiet moment. Maybe in the car after a long day, when something made you look at your own house like a stranger would. Something in you ran the numbers. And then life moved on and you let it go. I want you to stop letting it go. Because what I'm going to walk you through today isn't theory. It's what's actually happening. What's actually being read when someone drives slowly past your house, and exactly what you can do about every single part of it. Some of it takes 20 minutes. Some of it costs $30. All of it matters more than most of what gets marketed to you as home security. Let's start with the thing that stopped me cold when I first came across it. They knock. Not at 2 a.m., not wearing anything suspicious. In the middle of the day, in plain sight, they walk up your path and knock on your front door. News in Portland surveyed 86 inmates serving active sentences for burglary in the Oregon Department of Corrections and asked them directly how they operated. Every single one of them confirmed it. Not most. Everyone. They knock first. If you answer, they have a story ready. Wrong house, looking for someone, totally calm. If you don't answer, they have what they came for. The house is empty. The clock starts. Think about your Tuesday morning. Out by 8, kids at school, house sitting quiet for the next 8 or 9 hours. During those hours, that knock happens. And right now, your door is answering for you. For most homes, what it says is, nobody home, no sign of when that changes, make your decision. The fix is simple. A video doorbell you can speak through from your phone. Not because it records them, though it does, but because your house can now answer that knock from 30 miles away. You pick up, you say hello, and suddenly, this is the wrong house. That's all it takes. The same KGW study found that almost every burglar said a car in the driveway was enough to make them move on. Not a complicated security system. Just evidence that someone might be present. A voice through a doorbell does exactly the same thing. Presence is the deterrent. Real or convincingly implied, it doesn't matter to them. Now, while they're standing at your door deciding they've already done a 4-second read from the street, you do this too. You pull up to an unfamiliar house, and something registers immediately. Cared for. Neglected. Someone's watching that one. They run the same scan. Different checklist. Camera visible, yes or no. Any alarm signage, yes or no. Motion lights on the approach, yes or no. General sense that this house is being paid attention to, yes or no. Yeah, here's where the research gets specific. In 2012, Dr. Joseph Coons at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte led a criminal justice study. 422 convicted burglars, randomly selected from prison systems across 3 states, interviewed on exactly how they chose their targets. 83% said they would check for a security system before attempting anything. Not after, before, from the street. And 60% said if they spotted one, they'd move on entirely. What that tells you is that visible security isn't just about stopping a break-in. It's about never becoming the target in the first place. Before they're anywhere near your door, they've already made a short list. visible deterrents take you off it. One thing worth knowing that the security industry tends to gloss over: a camera alone doesn't always work the way you'd expect. Some of those same convicted burglars said a visible camera suggested there were valuables worth protecting inside. The combination is what moves them on. Camera, alarm signage, motion-sensitive lighting, and the overall sense that this home notices things. They want the path of least resistance. The moment your home feels like it creates noise, witnesses, or complications, they're already looking at the next house. Now stop for a second. I want you to try something. Picture yourself standing at your own front door right now. Look at the door itself. The lock, the frame around it, the plate where the bolt slides in. Most people, when they think about a forced entry, imagine a lock being picked. That's a movie thing. What actually happens is a hard kick, low, near the handle. 1 or 2 seconds. And what gives under that kick is not the lock, it's the wood frame the lock is bolted into. Standard residential door frames are soft pine. They hold a door closed against wind. They are not designed to absorb sudden lateral force. When a boot connects with the right spot, the frame splits along the grain behind the strike plate. The plate pulls away from the wall, and the door swings open. The lock is still locked. There's just nothing left holding it to anything. Now look, in your head, at your strike plate, the metal piece the bolt slides into, how many screws are holding it in? If the answer is 2 or 3 short screws going into softwood, that plate will pull out of the wall under a single hard kick. Your lock is decorative. The fix is 4 3-inch screws going into the structural stud behind the frame. Not the cosmetic wood. The stud. That's a 30-minute job and a drill you already own. And it turns that 2-second forced entry into something loud, sustained, and visible, which is everything they cannot afford on a residential street in daylight. If you want to go further, a door frame reinforcement kit wraps steel around the entire weak point, $30 to $80. One Saturday morning. Do your strike plate first today, before anything else on this list. While you're thinking about your door, go outside after this and do something most fathers have never done. Walk to the end of your driveway, turn around, look at your house the way someone else would. Can your neighbor across the street clearly see your front door from their window? Or is something in the way? A hedge that's filled out over the years, a fence column, an overhang that throws your entrance into shadow. That bush you planted for privacy is doing exactly what you asked it to do. It's screening your door from view. It just doesn't do it selectively. Burglars actively look for cover near entry points. Something between them and the street while they work. And your neighbors, the ones home during the day, the retired couple 2 doors down, the person who works from home, they are one of the most reliable security assets on any street. They notice when something is off, but they cannot report what they cannot see. Trim whatever is blocking that sightline down to below waist height within 6 feet of your door. It's a 15-minute job that reopens the most effective security system in any neighborhood, a set of eyes that's already watching. Now look at your front step. You know what's on it. The package that arrived yesterday? Or was it the day before? Every time you walk past it, you think, I'll grab that tonight. And then you don't. That package is a clock. It's counting out loud how many hours nobody has come through that door. A box sitting there from Monday morning, still there Monday night, says this house has been empty all day. Still there. Tuesday morning says nobody came home. That's not a conclusion they're drawing. It's information you've left in plain sight. Same with mail that stacks up. Same with the bin you forgot to bring in after collection day. Each one alone is minor. Together they build a picture of a house where nobody is paying close attention. And a house where nobody is paying close attention is exactly what they are looking for. The fix is one conversation with a neighbor you already trust. Grab my packages when they arrive. Pull the bin back if you see it's been left out. One ask. That relationship is worth more than most things you could buy. Let me tell you something about porch lights that might push back on what you've believed your whole life. Leave the porch light on when you go out. You've heard this since you were a kid. When KGW asked those 86 convicted burglars directly about lighting, the answers weren't what you'd expect. Some said yes. A light made them reconsider. But one of them specifically said that lights on with the blinds closed actually looked attractive. Like someone left in a hurry and covered their things. A static light burning all night doesn't say someone is home. After a few hours, they know the difference between a house that's occupied and a house where someone left a light on. What motion-activated lights actually do is something more useful. They create a moment of uncertainty. Something changed. Something moved. That light snapping on mid-approach asks a question they can't answer from where they're standing. And that half second of not knowing is exactly what they cannot afford on a visible street. It's not the brightness. It's the interruption. Position them to trigger on the approach, not at the door. The point is to interrupt before they reach it, not illuminate after they've arrived. Here's what I want you to do when this is finished. Tonight, after the kids are in bed, go outside. Stand at the end of your driveway in the dark and look at your house the way that question asked you to. Is the frame on your door solid, or does it look like it would give? Is there a package that needs to come inside? Can your neighbor actually see your entrance? Or is something blocking them? Do you have motion lights covering the approach? Does your house look occupied? Like somebody inside is switched on and paying attention? Or does it look like everyone left this morning and the place has been sitting quiet ever since? You asked the question already. You asked it in that car, in that driveway, before life pulled you back inside. Tonight, go get the answer and close every gap you find. That's the job.